There's times when a high five just won't work.
That's right.
Heart condition, it's a failing heart. It's a weak heart, and it beats irregularly.
Yes.
He has some time left.
That's good.
He needs to limit his exercise, but if he were to do some, it would probably help. What is the drinking thing?
I don't know. He says he's not, but I think he drinks more than he should.
He has time, but it's time that you reacquaint yourself with him.
We have been, actually, a lot.
A lot of talking, working things out. The dutiful parent thing.
Okay.
I think he admires you in many ways because you've done things he couldn't do. You pulled it off.
I could see that.
And he had failure, but you pulled it off. And you do it with ease. It looks easy, but it's not.
Right.
You're struggling in there. You're stuck. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yet you've accomplished things he couldn't do. The personal things that you
Okay.
do, he couldn't do that. He couldn't pull that off.
I agree with that.
So he admires you for your ability to, was he condescending? Is he condescending sort of?
He has been, yes. He's not so much anymore, but he was.
That's a sign, people who are going to pass stop being terrible people because he fears death. He's going to try and clear things. This is why you're talking with him, because he doesn't feel he has too much longer. And I believe
He died 4 times and they brought him back to life every time.
it'll happen again.
Oh.
And in some ways, he sort of thinks he should have gone. That he should be here now.
Okay.
But you're clearing up all these issues that have been there, but he admires you because you pulled it off and he couldn't do it. So you're like, he's saying, well, how could she do that? Well, because you're different. This bad thing didn't touch you. You made sense of it. It all made sense, so it didn't. You have a Teflon thing where bad stuff that happens doesn't stick to you.
Sure.
Because you reason it out. You say, oh, well, that's just that. That's just that. And you put it in that shoebox and then it's okay. Because you figured it out, it doesn't bother you.
That's true. It's very true.
So he admires you for that. Your ability to stick to and do and not make enemies. Did he make enemies?
Oh, I'm sure.
But this is a great time for you because when he passes, he'll be around you all the time. Did somebody have an Arthur?
Have an author?
Arthur.
Arthur, like
My
the name?
grandfather's author.
Okay. He's just yakking.
Oh, okay.
He's wanted me to tell you he's here. That's all it is. And sometimes they'll do that. They're not supposed to, but they'll jump in the middle of somebody else's thing and start yakking. Because he's been very polite. He's been here the whole time. But now he wanted to say something. Did someone work with wood that's passed? Was he a woodworker? Did he carve and do things with his hands? Who is this?
My grandfather did.
Okay, so they're together. They're here in the room together. Okay. Carving, this guy with his hands, very creative and spatial. Could look at a piece of wood and see what it should be. It was very interesting stuff.
He carved birds, actually.
Almost no one can do that. To look at a piece of wood and see in 3D, imagine what it should be, and then just pick up a knife and carve it. I mean, that's so rare. People who can do that, their stuff is in the Smithsonian, because you just can't be done to anybody. And he was tireless. Interesting guy. So once he got onto something, he focused and he just went through it. Do you have any of his pieces?
Oh, I do.
Are they on display?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why he's here. That you're honoring him by putting his hand-carved little pieces on display. This is so good. This is what mediumship really is about. Is that he thanks you for honoring him in this way.
Oh, get warm.
Well, you didn't think it was going to be like that, huh?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect.
And he's the one that is around you mostly.
My son's actually named after him.
And he's around most of the time. And believe it or not, he's in the kitchen a lot. Andrew, or Andy, who is that? It's not Amber, it's Andy. It's Andy. You know, when we were talking about Amber earlier, it's not Amber, it's Andy. I just didn't hear it right. Who is Andy or Andrew? It's a cousin.
My cousin's husband's name is Andrew.
Okay, that's all it is. That's all it. Just I don't know. It's a shout out. It's a happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his birthday was like recently.
So this is a happy birthday.
Earlier this month.
It's a happy birthday. That's all.
My
it is.
birthday's on Sunday.
You're like,
Um,
Anybody out there want to shout out?
Is there a big white cake with chocolate?
For my birthday? I
Someone,
hope so.
someone's showing me a chocolate cake with white icing. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what I'm seeing.
Could be an ice cream cake?
Is that, yes, and someone's making a joke about there's too many candles to put candles on.
oh, what's so wrong?
Rude.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
That's rude.
But it's a joke. It's the
Yes.
grandfather's making fun of you.
No doubt about it.
Or you. Someone needs saving. You're not explaining it to me.
I mean, my niece needs to be saved big time.
It's drugs.
Yep.
Promiscuous nature.
Yeah, probably.
You're a good influence on this girl, right?
Mhm.
You're a good influence on this girl, but you can't quite make it stick. She doesn't see any value in being normal. She's not seen that this is something that's worthwhile. It's about kicks.
Yeah.
But you've done your best. Is it just standing around? You're a good influence. Just being there. But it's had no effect on her in a way that you'd like to save her, but she's got to go through a bad patch. And there's some kind of rehab.
There was rehab.
There was rehab.
Several times.
They're saying twice.
Yeah,
Okay. The third time is sort of a charm. Is this alcohol involved as well? Sometimes.
Probably. I don't know.
With friends, drugs.
It probably was.
And they're saying
she said she was
ecstasy, so it's some kind of
sober
a-
at some point.
It's some kind of a party drug too. Some kind of a designer party drug somebody gave her that's a pill that makes her high.
Recently? Trying the time frame on
And they're
that.
saying the
Color.
words, they're saying the word sparkle, so I don't know what that means, but it's some kind of,
It's ecstasy.
it's something, is that what ecstasy is? They call it sparkle?
There's a new strain called Sparkle.
Oh, really?
She doesn't think she's valuable.
That is very 100% true.
This is when you use women at a young age, and this is why, this is
Yeah.
mediumistic work that makes a difference. That now that you know what it is, maybe it'll help. That when you're used like that, it demeans who you are, then you have no value, and drugs are something you want to do to forget. This is a great girl.
Yes.
She's very interesting.
Yes.
Very, they're using a word I don't know, quixotic, quick something like that. Astonishing, interesting, changing, but it's all avoiding the past, the reality of what happened.
So how do we fix it?
Is she in therapy?
I
Has
don't
been,
know. She was.
but not now.
She moved back home and I don't know what she's doing.
She needs therapy with somebody she doesn't know, and preferably someone who's been through the same thing.
Okay.
That's a key important for her, because she's not going to listen to anybody that hasn't had that experience. So someone who's been that, a therapist who's been through that herself, is a key ingredient.
Okay.
This girl is salvageable.
I believe that 100%.
She just doesn't want to be saved.
I believe that.
But at some point, she's going to hit a bottom point. And if you're there and you grab her and pull her
We're
out,
at that point.
no, it's not low enough yet. She hasn't discovered her value. She's very interesting.
There's no baby in that, is there? I
No,
don't see a baby in her future, do you? Because
No.
God help us. Okay,
No.
good. That's all
Um,
here.
but she's very creative.
Yes.
And this damage happened to where her self-esteem has allowed this to happen. If someone can show her how valuable she is, because she is really just a neat person to know, I would love to know this person. She's very creative, very interesting, always has something neat going on, but at the bottom of it, it's avoiding this thing that happened by taking drugs. because she doesn't have any self-value. She doesn't believe in herself. But this is someone she has an addictive personality anyway. But it's interesting to me that really creative people do have addictive personalities. You're going to have to trick this girl into being what she... You ever ask her what she wants to be?
Yes.
And what was her
It
reply?
has changed every time I've asked her. She wanted to be a teacher, she wanted to be a nurse. She's actually hopefully going to school to be a dental assistant, I believe. Or she's about to do that.
She has something
She's
to
very
do with...
young.
Yeah, but she has skills in drug rehab stuff.
She's actually wanted to do that.
So this is a good direction for
She's not
her.
sober. Oh, I don't know if she's sober, actually.
Partially and sometimes, but not now.
Oh.
But she has great insight in that area, and if she could ever get sober herself, she could create a climate with other people in a way that would lead them out of it as well. So she needs rehab and then get into that. Because I think she's very personable.
Yes.
People like to meet her. She's excited. But it's like a flame that's burning too bright.
Yes.
It's a cover-up for what's really going on.
Very much so.
But I think she would do well in drug therapy for teenagers and things like that. That would be her niche because she's been through the war.
Yeah. Good. I'll tell her.
Yeah.
I'll tell her you said that.
It's true. Someone just said it's true. And they touched me on the back. So that's an absolute, like, they said it's true and then they touched me. So that's